Hello, this is a Plat Domina VOD review, and the post on this one said they had really good accuracy, but it didn't work out, and they were wondering what they could do better. So I'll go through it.
Attackers incoming.
And we're doing some decent damage. What we do want to do is, if possible, because it's going to be a theme, I fast-forwarded through this, it's going to be a theme for most of this game that you don't focus their backline enough, or we hesitate where we look at the ball and then go, oh yeah, I should look over here, but we should just be focusing their backline a little more when ball comes in. And this is kind of the case of Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Well, our plan was to hold top and shoot everyone, which is good, but then ball comes in and does what ball does, which is run around randomly and have 1,000 HP. And now we're dropping down and pushing into their team and doing a random chip damage shove. So this is all just pointless. We need to be waiting for our barrier to come back. And then holding this corner, what we do is anyone who comes up gets shoved into this wall, or they get shoved into this wall. And then we get the stun. Domina's abilities heal us, so we get, whenever we do double damage on the shove, we also get double healing. But now we got no barrier, no shove, and I pre-watched this, so we're barely going to live, but you see how bad this is. If we had a shove, we would just be, what is this idiot doing pushing us and shove him into a wall, but now we're panic dumping everything on the ground. And we're gonna get him. Good crystal charges at the corner. Basically this game, about half of our crystal charges and half of our barriers are quality, and the rest are kind of questionable. We need to get that number up just as much as we need to get our accuracy up, which it is. You said your accuracy's 60%, that's probably better than mine. But we need to get the quality ability usage up too. So this fight, the crystal charge was good. It kept him at the corner. And this ult was worth it just because it was a scrappy something like a 3v3. Or it says, now it says it at the top, but it counts respawners, so it was really a 3v3. So honestly, that was a fine ult. If we play multiple heroes, we can swap now. That's kind of a me thing just because I played 6+ tanks. But it's basically just everyone scrambling to get back to the point. Okay, we're gonna get there fast enough. Luckily we get the Juno speed ring too. And that barrier was not quality, because we already killed one, and we had the corner, this corner protecting us, and the statue. So what we really want to do to make sure we get these stagger kills is barrier at the corner, so we can walk behind it. Because it'll really help our defense if we stagger the Cassidy and make them wait another 15 seconds and get desyncs. So really missed opportunity barriering when you had full health and all this stuff. Because Domina's 14-second barrier, yeah, like, see, we backed up. We're kind of glued to this bad barrier now, and they can basically just play safe out of our rage. So not like a huge mistake, but it kind of stopped you from getting stagger limbs. And this is another case of reacting a little too strongly to the ball. I don't think we could get a wall stun on him. This is where the juice is. Because I want you to see, like, oh, there's a torpedo landing and a Genji, a shove or a crystal charge here. Easy, easy win. Yes, we're dealing damage to the ball, but I'd rather you just be focusing the follow-up. And the other thing about crystal charging the ball is at any point he can just be rolling out and you would do no damage, so that's why I just prefer you crystal charge all the clump of people on the corner, because you know that's good. We're gonna ult. And we just left our corner, our barrier was recharging, so barrier long cooldown, so it's important, it's good, and there's also this 5-second period between barriers where we're vulnerable, and we did not respect that at all going around the statue this way. We just exposed ourselves to too many people. You got to start giving people credit once you hit Diamond Plus, that even something like, oh, I'm just going for 2 seconds across here, like, they're gonna shoot you for that. So you didn't respect them enough or play around your barrier cooldown. And they're gonna ult us. Okay. You probably know what I'm gonna say. Not a good idea to push forward without your barrier. Your team is also leaving, so this was just a really sketchy push. Yes, we gotta play around our barrier more. That's just Domina in a nutshell, that she has high points and low points because she's got this giant barrier cooldown. I forget if we die for it. Okay, no we don't. But we kind of stick around to the point where we are kind of gonna get split off. And they rush down your team. There's really nothing Domina can do about this because she doesn't have movement abilities. What you might consider, if 2 people go past you, you might consider just trying to kill the Mizuki on the payload or something, instead of running back to your team, because you're just going to be too slow. That's basically, you gave up your chance to actually set up here when you stayed up here and went for the shove, is basically what I'm saying. So at that point, you're kind of a major choice and you need to just deal with the payload. So we don't do all that much that time, we just kind of team dies. That was a sketch ult for sure, but my ults aren't always great. Okay. And this is just, we need to get resynced with our team. They're respawning all the way back here. Now we're just getting snowballed. So whenever you're getting snowballed, it's most important that you look back and just stay with your team, huddle for a few seconds if you need to. Don't get caught out like this, because I forget if we die here or not, but it's just really sketchy, the fact that we're out here 2-on-4. Good wall shove. All right, nice. And they counter ult, so we're even now. So what we're about to do doesn't really make sense. I know you're trying to help the Genji, but as soon as they ult back, I really think this ult, using the reposition like this, is really irresponsible, because we're assuming they're all gonna run back, and that would be true if it was just a blade versus nothing, but they're ulting back, so it's kind of a more of a hold in place type of situation. I think you just made way too many assumptions with this barrier. That, oh, they're gonna be scared of us, but are they? Do they need to be scared of us?
Crystalline perfection.
And team's dead, so you don't want to get caught out here. We dropped too soon. In my opinion, we're getting lucky, because it's the same thing. Team is respawning. There's no way, unless you're on comms, there's no way you knew you were going to get bailed out by a Maywall here. Like, I refuse to believe this was 200 IQ calculated. You're just going in way too soon. And you would probably die in any other game. But they don't kill us. Their team gets split by a Maywall. Like, team comes back just in time.
You're a high performer.
And this was a better timing and placement on the barrier. If you ever hear ball in the back of your headphones go for a slam, then that's usually a good time to barrier, because his team will want to follow up on that. Ball's taking a bunch of damage because he's actually staying in and slamming. So this was a much better timing on the barrier, and now we're... And like a few times, because we've had bad barriers, we've panic crystal charged the ground and gotten no damage and no healing. But now that we're actually doing it a little better, now our crystal charge is good on the corner too. So we're just using these abilities a lot better, and it's making things easier. And whenever you pump out this much damage, their team just can't play the game. Great crystal charge. Actually throwing them at corners now. I think maybe we just lagged there, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. And this is kind of wandering through the point, I don't know, because this map is kind of hard that you only have this way to get out. But I think you should have stuck to your guns and kind of stayed here and actually barriered when they come up, because this kind of nervousness where you run back through the street and then have to early barrier, they're going to pounce on this. They can just shoot your barrier from a safe spot and go in 5 seconds, and then it's kind of, we're in a bad spot. So about half, like I said, half these barriers are good, half are pretty bad. And now we've got them pushing. Oh, and they sneak the barrier. Okay, yeah, that's what happened. The ball kind of sneaks it in. But we'll go to the attack now. And that was another case of you kind of caught yourself, but oh, I'm over focusing ball, and like I said, here's the value. Throwing a crystal charge. Oh, Zen gets the kill for you. But this is where the value is, throwing a crystal charge on these 3 goobers stacked on the corner. It's not on the ball, so I like how we corrected ourselves. We just need to be a little more decisive with that, going for backline in spots like that. What you might want to do at this point, because they redesigned the map, something you can do, because they backed up so far that, and your team's all standing on payloads, so you can't really push this, but what you can do is just come up these new stairs and basically be controlling this whole point. And you'll get in a limb from here because they can't really hide from you, or at least you'll be controlling most of the map. So this rotation, now's a good time for it. I forget what you do here, but it's probably would be a good idea to go up those stairs. Oh, we have our ult, so that works too. Okay. And what I said about rotations, a rotation that's really long that would help you is something like this, just to make sure there's no shenanigans where something like their cast comes up here and just starts killing, or they don't have a cast here anymore, but yeah, their Bastion or something comes up here and kills everyone. It wouldn't hurt to do something like that. And then if the fight ends up here anyway, then you just walk off, but... This is just over pushing. Sometimes, like how we read that old situation here, last team fight where we over pushed, we're misreading this. They're the ones retaking because they need to stop the payload, which means we're on defense. You can just sit here, and anyone who walks up, you shove into this wall. And when they come out, like in the ball slams, then you barrier and block off his follow-up. That's kind of how you play this. This is just all the good moments where you're getting good shots and damage is just erased by some of these horrible decisions and barrier. Like, this barrier is not going to protect you. You're stuck in their whole team on a character without a escape cooldown. So I don't... That's kind of unlucky. Or not unlucky, it was just a bad decision.
They must be held responsible. Shaping our defense.
Same thing. Last fight we had that ult that we could use to win, but now it's probably even more important to come up here because it at least gives you some map control and helps your team walk up. And that bad crystal charge is caught up to you too, because if we use it on a ball, he's likely to just roll out of it in half a second. But if we're using it on the Reaper, then we can win this 1v1. So wasting those crystal charges caught up to us, because if we had thrown it on the Reaper, then we'd be winning this pretty easily. But now it's going to be hard. Yes, we get the wall stun and the headshot, but it's not quite enough, so...
Can we move the payload? Pretty please.
Charlatans, the lot of them.
And this is good. This time we made a choice. Okay, I'm just going to shoot the back line. And I think it's a great choice. You're doing a lot of damage. Making sure they can't stand here. Pushing them all back. This is great. And that was another case of over-focusing the ball. Because remember what I said your job is from last time we were in this situation? It's to stop everyone from comfortably flooding out here. And they've done it. They've comfortably flooded out here. And when they did so, they were also lined up. So this was another case where you can get a triple ult. I think we still get one, but it's pretty late into the fight. And we already let our Mizuki die, so I think it would have been a lot better to have just staying on the back line. Because this is just a case where Plat plays a little slower, so you were able to do this 2 seconds later and it's still fine. But it won't always be fine. Don't want to make this video 30 minutes. But this was a good flank coming up here. And that second of going forward, our barrier is about to expire, and they Mizuki ulted, so this is the second time you've misread the situation. Support ults can actually absolutely screw tanks over, because as a tank you want to just rush in there, but whenever they flip the script with a support ult, now you're stuck in their team, and now you kind of look dumb. So that extra second of seeing the Mizuki ult and still trying to run in there is going to get you killed. Because now the barrier's gone, so yeah, we're just not playing around barrier or reading the situation right, and it's gonna catch up to us. Which has kind of happened a few times. And this was a better, like, barrier usage, because you're blocking the follow-up here. They're trying to, like, oh, ball's in trouble, ball's slamming, and they see your barrier. So that was a much better barrier timing there. Alright. And they kill us again. Yeah, sometimes, let's go back. The reposition is good, but it doesn't refresh the cooldown. But I'm seeing exactly what happens. Yeah, Bastion baits us by doing that. And I'm just trying to, because we do the C barriers where you look sideways and the barrier gets in a C. We do that a lot, and it's not always the best decision. So I'm just trying to go half speed and like trying to get in your mind why we do this. Like, it can work, but what we have to do, how we have to play the barrier at this point is sit here in the middle of it and shoot, and as they break the barrier, then we back up to the second side of the C. That's why you do the C barriers, is the double thickness. But we kind of don't use it that way. And we're still trying to go this way, but now, like, the barrier's not too thin because we put it in the sea, so it's just kind of like, if we use the barrier like this, we need to be on this edge, or this corner, or whatever side of the circle, and we need to use both sides of the thickness. Which I'm not explaining this well, but I think you understand what I mean. We need to use the barrier that way, because otherwise it's just a worse horizontal barrier if we don't use both sides of the sea, which is kind of what happens. And we kind of get caught out, and then we die, so we're just using that special barrier type a lot, and we're using it wrong.
60 seconds.
And that was another kind of coward barrier. We picked the ball, we got full health, both supports with us, a corner, and we're still throwing the barrier here. It needs to be the push around the corner. And we're going to correct our mistake using the perk, so it's not the end of the world. But now we can't do it again. Like, if this was the first barrier, this can be the reposition, but like we did a horrible barrier and we said, oh, that was bad, let me just fix that. But that was just another case of the bad barrier. I might just want to run in those guys' faces and ult them just to make sure there's no funny business. But we win anyway, so I just skip forward.
Ready for battle.
And the Reaper just catches us by surprise. But we live. And this is just another case where we kind of keep taking chip damage at the wrong times. Yes, we got a pick. That means we need to go aggressive relatively soon. But I don't like you taking all that damage while waiting for your barrier to come back, and then you're like, oh, my life's in danger, I need a barrier here, which, what is this barrier doing? It's basically saying, please don't kill me, but it's not taking space. So this ability usage, we just need to say, okay, our barrier's on cooldown, just chill. We don't need to just, I gotta keep peeking, and then take a bunch of damage and then panic barrier. So that's kind of a pattern we get into, where we've done that mistake a lot. Ball does that cheeky thing that Dooms like to do, where they boop you back into the team. But we're still just, because Domina has a blue barrier, so even if you have the worst backline possible for healing, which you almost do, Mizuki Zen is not like a healing dump type of supportal. But even if you have horrible supports, if you just hide, you get your barrier back, the blue health. But because you keep peeking with your barrier down, we've been constantly 250 HP, and it's giving me an aneurysm. Like, this barrier is a quality barrier because it gets you through this choke to the statue. I might have put it a little far forward. Like, it's a good barrier. We sent this play with 250 HP. So we just have half HP. So we don't have anything to work with here. This could have worked if we just went in with full HP, because then we'd be at 500 now, and now we can trade shots, and now it's all great. But they're gonna pick us, and that was basically just we didn't go in with full HP, so it's kind of that simple. But we'll go to the defense, because we make the exact same mistake we made first fight on defense.
Sharp as a blade. Behind me now.
We use a crystal charge randomly, so we don't have it, but it would have been huge if we crystal charged this. We do it, we see them coming up, so our next step is kind of like, get here and just chill, but we're gonna overreact to this. Like, oh, they're coming in, I better drop on them with barrier on 8-second cooldown. Just, I promise you, the world will not end, especially with your team back here. The world will not end if you chill for 3 seconds here and just hold the high ground and shoot at people. We're just way too eager to run down here and, like, follow the ball. And we're gonna get chained and everyone's gonna shoot us, and And if we had more HP, where would we put the barrier? We'd be putting it out here and actually going for picks on people like her or them. We might even try and save our Bastion, which usually isn't a good idea, but if they're right there, it's a risky play, but if it works, you'll definitely be getting some thanks. But this was another, oh god, I don't want to die barrier. And the less, oh god, I don't want to die barriers we throw, the better, because next fight. What you might want to do here, because their team's respawning, is we have the option to come up these stairs and disrupt the two people alive. We might win the game if we catch the Mizuki. Even if it doesn't work, we just back off to our team. But I think it's criminal not to try this rotation and disrupt their setup, because you're making it way too easy. All right, we'll just, me and Mizuki will sit here until you get back ball, and then we'll all go in together. You're making this too easy. Okay, so we kind of overreact to the Reaper, but where did the Reaper come from? Where did he come from? He came from here, which you left open, so. Ball comes in. And now I'm going to go to Bastion's point of view. And when I say play around your barrier cooldown, you used it early, so it's about to go away. And this is what he sees, a Domina running through the point. Thank you, Elo gods, you're giving me a gift. And that's basically GG. So the quality of some of the crystal charges and barriers were bad. You not playing around the barrier cooldown. You over-focusing ball instead of going for the back line, which if your accuracy is 60%, I can only imagine that you can be getting a lot of picks on these guys if you just are willing to shoot them more. But if you make those changes, and I think you misread a few situations where they support ulted, that got you killed in dumb spots. But if you fix those, we'll be in a good spot, so good luck.